Hello my friends, and happy Tuesday to you, and happy Tuesday to me also, because I am in New York. I'm actually watching the skyline right now behind you all. Beautiful skyline. And today, actually tonight, I'm flying to Canada, so I spent 2 days here. I'm already going now, so this is my last video from this hotel to you. It's really nice in the US, and I'm gathering a lot of support for Ukraine. Also wanted to say a little thank you to all of the USA people, because as of now, you have been really nice to me. And also, I'm much better. I was sick yesterday and the day before. Now, I'm good, ready to go. Show will go on, and we'll go into Canada. But first, I'll bring you up to date in what's going on in Ukraine. Look at this video, my friends. This is a Russian soldier filming S-300, S-400 complexes right here. And you can hear the sound of missiles flying above. These are Ukrainian missiles. Well, not exactly. They're actually British and French joint Storm Shadow missiles. And the interesting fact is, we see a second one. You can see it actually. I'll go back a little bit because I want to show it to you. This right here, this black dot, it's a Storm Shadow flying over the S-400 and S-300 complexes to hit the Belbek airfield in Crimea. On January 31st, Ukraine did a massive air assault against Crimea, against 4 military airfields, and Belbek was the main target. And there they hit or damaged at least 3 Russian planes. A huge loss for the Russians. And what's the weird part is that the Storm Shadow missiles that flew apart, now we have footage, they flew over the Russian S-300 and S-400 complexes, which proves that these complexes cannot shoot down the Storm Shadow. Now, we do have some instances of Russians being able to jam the Storm Shadow, but these kind of jammers are very expensive and rare, so only at certain locations, and apparently not at Belbek, because I saw footage of planes burning. My friends, on the screen you can see Ukrainian Special Forces mission called Citadel, and this mission took place some time ago, and they published it because it was a great success and it's such a big of a mission. I want to bring it to you. Russian occupied Crimea. Right next to it there are a few towers in the water. You could call them platforms, whatever you want to call them. The Russian army and navy are using them as radar stations to lengthen the range of some of the drones and then lengthen the communication of the Black Sea Fleet. I'll read you a report while you can watch the footage, and it's quite an insane operation, so I'll suggest you get your popcorn now. According to intelligence, one of the illegally seized offshore platforms was used by the Russians to enhance the operation of the Iranian-made Mohair 6 UAV. Namely, they installed equipment that increased the range and radius of its operation. This UAV was used by the enemy for reconnaissance and subsequent strikes by Shahed kamikaze drones on critical infrastructure facilities in the south of Ukraine. So this platform was responsible for pinpoint attacks in the south of Ukraine against civilian infrastructure. So Ukrainian Special Forces stepped in. Let's see. In addition, the enemy installed a radar station for detecting surface objects Neva B on the platform. Neva is new. With the help of this radar, the Russians controlled the situation in the northwestern part of the Black Sea, so the part where Russian Black Sea Fleet is pushed right now by Ukrainian sea drones, the sea baby, the northwestern part. And these towers allow them to control the Black Sea more efficiently. The radio signals and the communication travels further with the help of this relay tower. Now come in the Ukrainian Special Forces, and you can see I'm already smiling. The footage is great, but the report is greater. The special operation was carried out in the zone of constant patrolling by the Russian aviation and navy. The boats of the 73rd SOF came close to the offshore platform after carrying out special actions and cleaning. The object was mined. The combat group withdrew to a safe distance and blew up the enemy target. As a result, important enemy equipment was captured and a mast with an antenna was blown up. Now, I know this is a cliche and I shouldn't say it, it's not professional, but this sounds like one of the Call of Duty missions I played when I played Modern Warfare 1, 2 and 3. There were missions on these oil platforms, so it sounds exactly like it and the footage looks exactly like it. The successful conducted special operation ensured safer movement of ships and limited enemies' capabilities in the northwestern part of the Black Sea. Again, Ukraine proves that they, a country without a traditional sense of navy, are able to push back the Russian quite massive Black Sea fleet and destroy their relayed communication towers very close to Crimean shore with special forces at night. Well executed. Now, my friends, we'll watch a video together that is insane to the core. It reminds me of stories from the Stalingrad battle, where different stories of the same building were occupied by different forces. Let's say the Soviets were on the second floor, the Germans were on the first, and they were throwing grenades up and down for weeks. It's not like the Soviets pulled out and the Germans pulled out. No, they were just shooting up and down the stairway for a long time. Now, in this video, let's watch it together. And I hope YouTube overlords forgive me for showing this, but I do want to show it. This is a Ukrainian kamikaze drone aiming down at a 3-layered small tower building slash thingy. At the first floor, there are 2 Russian soldiers. At the second floor, there are 2 Ukrainian soldiers. And the Ukrainian soldiers obviously trapped because the Russians are at the first floor. Let's see what the drone does. And bada bim, bada boom. I cannot show you, but demilitarized, knocked out cold. The Russians are made into good Russians. Let's see what happens after. Boom, we can see 2 Ukrainians jumping out with winter camo, jumping up from the second floor and running away. They're all alive and well, and this kamikaze drone saved both of their lives. I'm glad to see it, glad to report it. Usually the kamikaze drone operators are the most efficient way to demilitarize Russian units and tanks, but in this case, this operator literally saved these guys' lives, because they were, I guess, minutes away from the Russians barging upstairs. My friends, now we're going to watch a video together that you and I both are not ready for. It's about GUR, so Ukrainian Intelligence Special Forces operators in Sudan, Africa. Yes, Ukraine, a country in war which is lacking almost everything, including manpower, is able to project their force, one of their best fighters, into Africa to fight against Russian interests and Russian power projection in the continent. Ukraine is insanely capable because they're fighting a war in the home front and still able to project their power onto the other continent. These GUR fighters beat a Wagner unit in Sudan, and we have a video of it, and they're interrogating the prisoners of war of Wagner in Africa, in Sudan. So I'll read you the subtitles. Unfortunately, I cannot play the video for you. It has to be blurred, otherwise I'm risking a lot here. So forgive me, but I'll read you. And the fact itself that these are Ukrainian GUR Special Forces operators in Sudan, which is almost fully Russian mercenary controlled territory, is insane to the core. Now again, I'll be reading you subtitles, and they are interrogating Wagnerite POWs. What's your rank? Soldier. Your unit, PMC Wagner. How did you get here to Sudan? We drove through South Africa, Khartoum. What was the goal? The overthrow of the local government. How many are you here? 100 people. What city are you based in, South Africa? And you ask how they got here and how much they get paid. So there is one Russian operator here who is captured and 2 local operators who are captured. So the Russian is trying to ask the locals now. And in the end, we found out that they get paid 1,000 a month, which in Sudanian terms, is quite a lot of money. A lot of money. So they are regular mercenary soldiers, basically Wagner and Russian Ministry of Defense cannon meat, cannon fodder, and that's for 1,000 a month. So for Russian Ministry of Defense, it is cheaper to hire these guys from Sudan, for example, because in Russia you have to pay them a little bit more for them to go to the front, and even then they don't want to go and they're going to revolt. Well, they're not going to do that in Sudan. My friends, yesterday President Zelensky finally confirmed rumors about the firing of Zaluzhny, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and he did not say that he will be fired. He just commented, he was asked, how do you comment the rumors about firing Zaluzhny? President Zelensky just said that we need a change in the leadership of the military and in the leadership of the political groups in Ukraine. So that if he wouldn't even think about firing Zaluzhny, he would say, no, it's rumors, but he confirmed because he said that we do need a change. Who will be the next Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine? We do not know. In my eyes, Zaluzhny has served people, Ukrainian people and Ukrainian army very well. But since Ukraine is a democratic nation, then some kind of rotation in any government body is expected. So I don't take this as some kind of big schism or fight, but just a routine democratic change of leading positions in a democratic country. Yesterday, my friends, the Ukrainian National Security Council Secretary Danilov confirmed that there will be no elections in Ukraine until the war is going on, because according to Ukrainian constitution, it is not possible to have presidential elections or elections at all when martial law is declared, which has been for duration of this war. So until the war is over, there will not be any presidential elections. Now, my friends, some good news, because the Dutch government just approved the additional sending of 6 F-16 fighters to Ukraine, which makes the total number come up to 24. Now, 24 F-16s, they can do a lot. They can do a lot of harm to Russian aviation and capabilities over Ukrainian skies. Even though Ukraine doesn't even have F-16s right now, they are able to push the Russian aviation quite far away thanks to their Patriot system hit-and-run tactics. When F-16s do arrive, Ukraine has even more capabilities to further enhance their pushing back of the Russian aviation assets. Russian pilots are afraid to fly over Ukraine, and they are afraid to fly over the Black Sea or over Crimea, because there is a true threat which has manifested in the past that they will be shot down. Ukraine has the capabilities now, and once they get the F-16s, it will be even further enhanced. Yesterday, my friends, it was a historic day in the world of drones and robotics. I mean, robotics seems like an old world and everybody calls them drones now, but it was the first successful mission in the world where an enemy post was liquidated only using drones, and no humans physically present on the battlefield. So it was a Ukrainian unmanned ground vehicle, which is called UGV, and it was up in the air. There were reconnaissance drones and attack drones, which are communicated with each other, and they focused down a Russian defensive position, and they were successful in eliminating that position without any Ukrainian operators being physically present on the vicinity of the battlefield. So it was all done by drones on the ground, drones up in the air, doing everything a Ukrainian soldier would do, now done by drones. So it is a big step in drone warfare for Ukraine and for the world. Now, my friends, I'll read you the names of Patreons, people who are my security net and who allow me to do what I do. For example, be right now in the US, still make these videos for you and gather support for Ukraine. I can do it because I have mental security. I have security thanks to the Patreon. So I'll be butchering their names to show my gratitude. Bob, Karsten Olesen, Jeffrey LaPlante, Anelma Krapu Lennart Bergdal, Deo, Carles Clark. Thank you to these people. I really do appreciate you. If you like my channel, then head on to the Patreon, become one, and you'll get access to all of the behind the scenes footage or behind the curtains or the secret part of being a military blogger. For example, right now in the US, I'll be posting a lot of stuff in the Patreon for you, only for patrons to see, because I think you guys are special and you should get special treatment. You get that on the Patreon. Until my next video, my friends, which will be tomorrow. Slava Ukraini. And bye-bye. My friends, the moment is here. You have done it before and you did it again. These are one of the most cost-effective way to destroy Russian tanks. These are small kamikaze drones. They cost in between $500 and $800. Russian tank cost above $500,000 to more. So taking a tank out with one of these drones is the most beautiful thing that can happen. So you are giving the Ukrainian units a possibility to liberate their land with these beautiful drones. With me are standing two guys from SBU Alpha, the best Ukrainian Special Forces unit, and their kill ratio with the drones is unbelievably off the charts. So you are most directly influencing the outcome of this war by giving these drones to the Ukrainian Special Forces. Thank you, my friends. Slava Ukraini. Let me see you try.